All right, lesson 2 from unit 7. This lesson is going to be pretty much as easy as the last one. It's going to be kind of probably review for a good chunk of you. And we're kind of going to be doing, it's honestly, I would argue, a little bit easier in a way than the last lesson. Let's dive in. We're going to do just like we do a whole lot of the time, and we're just going to write examples. Why am I way over there? Because of the way oops. Let me pause and we're back. So for these first few examples, excuse me, we're going to write a percent as a decimal. So we did this the other way around in the last lesson where we wrote a decimal as a percent. It's the same idea, but we're going the other way. So we move the decimal place still 2 times. We just move it to the left this time. All right, so to write 16% as a decimal, we just move the decimal place once and twice. So 16% would be 0.16. Don't forget to put that 0 on there, right? 0.16 that's not really a thing, right? We got to make sure we add that 0. That's very important. So the same thing here, right? This one is only slightly trickier, right? Because we got a decimal point, so we move it once and then twice. And just like we've done for a lot of other things, if we do a little bump and there's nothing there, then we've got to add a 0 there, right? So 9% would be 0.09. Easy peasy, right? No big deal. Let's do the next one. So these are the same thing. We're writing each percent as a decimal. Now each one of these have something kind of different that makes them a little bit weird, a little bit wonky, right? It's not really that big a deal. So for this one, we do the same thing. Percent as a decimal, we're going to move 2 places to the left, once and then twice. If there's nothing there, error and a little bump, we got to add a 0. So it's 0.007, right? So it's got even more zeros than normal. So now what about this one? This one also is kind of unique, right? This one is more than 100%, right? So we expect something, for our decimal, we expect something that's greater than 1 even, right? Because 1 in decimal is 100%. So we move the decimal place once, twice, and then we end up with 5.37, right? Which is greater than 1, which we expected, because 537% is greater than 100%. And so we expect a number greater than 1. Let's do another type of thing. So now this time, we're wanting to write each decimal as a percent. Now we've done this before, kind of like moving from fractions to percent. We kind of did all this in the last lesson a little bit. It kind of is all a little bit redundant and a little bit easy. It should, by the time we're through with all this, hopefully kind of come second nature to you. So here we're going to write each decimal as a percent. So we're going to move the decimal place to the right this time because we're going decimal to percent, right? So we're going to move it once and then twice. There's an empty space, so we're going to add a 0. So we get 20%. All right, now what about this one? Same idea. We're going to move the decimal place once and twice to the left. No, that's the right, to the right. And so we get 384%. Now we notice, just like that 500 and some odd a minute ago, that is greater than 100% because this decimal is greater than 1, right? So this is going to be still a pretty small percent, right? So we're going to move the decimal place once and then twice over. So it's 0.5%. Now you notice I didn't leave all these other zeros, right? Because we don't need 0.5%. We just need this 1, right? Easy peasy. We got a couple more examples, and then that's it. This is going to be a nice short lesson for us today. But this one is maybe the most tricky, but we got this. Easy peasy. We're going to express each fraction as a percent round to the nearest tenth if necessary. So, all right, so 5/8 we need to write as a percent. So in order to write 5/8 as a percent, we're going to divide, right? Easy peasy, no big deal. So we're going to divide just like we've always done. So we're going to put 8 on the porch, and we're going to put 5 in the house. Now stop, wait a minute. This is unit 7. So what I actually want you to do for practice is I want you to do this part in the calculator. So let me grab my calculator. Now, don't let this crazy graphing calculator scare you. You don't have to know how to use this. It's just the most convenient for me to use, right? So 5 divided by 8, enter. And so we get 0.625, right, as a decimal, 0.625. Now we're doing decimal to percent. So in order to do decimal to percent, we've got to move that decimal over once, twice. So this ends up being 62.5%. Don't forget to write that percent sign, right? Number 2, same thing. Now I want you to practice doing this part with a calculator. It is useful to learn how to do this, right? 7 divided by 9, enter. So we got 0.7 repeating. So equals 0.7777 repeating, right? So in order to convert that over to a percent, we move the decimal to the right once and then twice. And we want to round to the nearest tenth, right? So we're going to round right here. So we're looking there, right? So we're going to round up because 7 is greater than 5, right? So we end up getting 77.8%. All right, let's do this one. Now this 27 is bigger than 13, so we're going to get something greater than 1, so we're going to have more than 100%, right? That's the kind of thing we're looking for on those kind of problems. So 27 divided by 13 equals 2.0769, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. 0769, 0769, right? So to convert this decimal to a percent, we're going to move to the right once and then twice. And so we get 207. 207, we expected greater than 100 because this number is bigger than 1, right? 0.7%, right? Because we're going to round here, which means we're going to round here. Let me keep my symbology the same, which means we're going to look here, right? And 9 is greater than 5, 5 or greater, and so it's going to push that 6 up to a 7. So 207.7%. All right, this is going to be a pretty small percent, right? It's a pretty small fraction. So let's grab our little calculator and do 3 divided by 400 equals 0.0075. So this equals 0.0075. So to convert this decimal to a percent, we're going to move the decimal once and then twice. And we end up with 0.75%. And that is it for that lesson. It's been an easy one, been a review. Actually, I made that other video a few years ago. I may have even, after doing this and doing homework, I may have even smooched some stuff together. I don't know, but either way, this was a quick lesson. We'll see you in class if you're one of my students. If not, thanks for joining us. Have a great day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe or whatever. See you later. Bye-bye.